Imagine all of those things, to say that government is threatening them and is using fear tactics, and even sometimes implementing these fear tactics in a bid to silence them, not allowing them to express themselves. So imagine the people or persons who make these allegations, and they may be right or they may be wrong. That's not the essence of today's rant, not to determine who is right or wrong. But imagine persons who hold those views, and then in a bid to free themselves of what they consider to be a tyrannical government, in a bid to free themselves from what they consider to be an oppressive system, in a bid to free themselves of what they consider to be a process or a system that violates their rights, decide to go ahead to use the same tactics that they accuse the system of. They use fear tactics, fear mongering, they use violence, they use oppression, they use repression. What I'm driving at is, how can you claim to be oppressed, and then in a bid to free yourself of oppression, you decide to oppress other people? How can you say that you have been violated, or your rights have been violated, and then you want freedom? And in a bid to free yourself of this violation, the tool you employ is a direct violation of other persons, or a violation of the rights of other persons also. How can you claim that violence has been unleashed on you unjustly, and in a bid to free yourself, rid yourself of this and get justice possibly, you decide to unleash violence on other people also? I hope you're getting where I'm going with this. Because, and once again, for the umpteenth time, this conversation of my rant today is not about the correctness, the rightness or wrongness, if you will, of a right of persons to agitate. I am not sitting to judge that today. No. I am saying that whatever your position is on the matter, can you use the same tools? Can you use the same processes? Can you use the same practices that you accuse some person of, which is oppressing you and violating your rights, in a bid to get this freedom you so very loudly profess and claim to be trying to get, not just for yourself, but on behalf of a certain people as well? And I don't think that can work. I am very convinced that it is a recipe for disaster. And here is a classic case of that. Just about every daily is running some version of the story. But let's go with the one from Daily Trust, and it's captioned, IPOB bans Nigerian flag in Southeast, declares sit at home October 1. Now, once again, this conversation is not about the correctness or otherwise of IPOB's demand for Biafra nation. That I do not concern myself with that for the purpose of today's rant. But here's the story. Now, the indigenous people of Biafra has declared October 1 a sit-at-home day and banned the Nigerian flag in the southeast. Now, if a person decides that they want to renounce their citizenship of a country, I believe every human being has the right to do that. You could decide to renounce your citizenship of any country. Nigeria, for example. You can decide that on your premises or in your home, the flag of a particular country would not be raised. You possibly maybe can decide that. But I don't understand, I cannot comprehend how you will demand that other persons must do the same thing because you want to free them. The media, back to the story, the media and publicity secretary of the group, Imam Powerful, in a statement made available to the media in Oka, Anambra State, said the ban began on Saturday. The statement reads, IPOB has declared October 1, 2021 a total shutdown in Biafra land as a sign of our rejection of the evil construct called Nigeria, and there shall be no movement in Biafra land on this day. You are clamoring for determination. You are insisting that you have a right of choice, and you are possibly correct with that. But how can you, in trying to express your right of choice, deprive other persons of their right to choose? You're saying we have a right to self-determination. It's enshrined in it's upheld, it's identified by global international organizations and all of that, and that's totally fine. And you say that we want to choose, we have a right to choose, we have a right to self-determination, and in trying to express that right, you deny other people the right to also determine for themselves what they want. Back to the statement. Also, the IPOB has declared that from today, September 25, 2021, all Nigerian flags mounted anywhere in Biafra land must be brought down. What if there's somebody in this, whatever area it is that's identified as Biafra land by IPOB? What if there's some other person there, even of the southeastern origin, who likes the Nigerian flag, who wants to be a Nigerian, and who wants to raise the Nigerian flag at their home, who wants to celebrate or at least identify that Nigeria's Independence Day is October 1? Does that person not have a right to choose for themselves whether to identify with IPOB's position or identify with a position that's entirely strictly theirs but does not conform or align with how IPOB perceives things? The IPOB leadership will communicate to banks directly and give them a reason they must peacefully bring down Nigerian. Now listen to this. This part of the statement is extremely funny. The IPOB leadership will communicate to banks directly and give them a reason they must peacefully bring down Nigerian flags in their banking premises before we do it ourselves in our own way. What does that mean? You are saying we will communicate to businesses, banks in this case, peacefully, give them a reason they should bring down the flags peacefully, and then on the other hand you say that before you do it yourself in your own way, employing fear tactics. The same thing that you accuse the current system, the Nigerian state, of doing. You say that they are killing us, they are killing our people, they are marginalizing, they are threatening us, they are dealing with us in an unjust way, and then you employ the same what you accuse the Nigerian state of doing, or the existing system of structure of doing. You're employing the same thing that you accuse others of doing in a bid to free yourself of oppression. You're employing oppressive tactics as well. Back to the statement. Everybody must strictly adhere to this directive. You cannot compel people to follow an ideology. They have to buy into it. You do not force people to. You do not threaten them to submission, because once again, that is what you have accused the system of doing to you. Everybody must strictly adhere to this directive. We want to let the world know that Biafra land is not Nigeria and shall not be. A word is enough for the wise. What happened to the rights of people in the southeast to choose for themselves? I thought the whole essence of this was to rid the people of oppression, of repression, of a violation of their rights. So assuming that were correct, and that is what we're trying to accomplish here, then we are also oppressing the people. We're repressing them. We're violating their rights to movement. We're violating their rights to conduct themselves peacefully. We're violating their rights to earn a living, to work, to set up businesses, open these businesses, transact or make economic transactions to be able to improve their welfare and the lives of their loved ones as well, their dependents. We're violating those rights because we want to free them. How does that make any sense?